Good morning, Ramon. Good morning, Team Steam. How is everyone this fine Monday morning?
Hi, Mindy Hahn. And Whitney, is that Whitney
Yep,
there?
this one's Whitney. She's a
Okay.
little,
The
she's a
only one
little
I
on
recognize.
the side.
Not great with faces.
Right.
Whitney, I recognize. And good morning, yeah, to everyone joining us. We'll let everyone file in for another week of Team Steam plays here on the Morning Steam. There's Whitney in our faces, about close enough to lick us right
Right.
there. Oh
And she
boy,
likes to do that.
our ratings are going up. W.C. Fields said, "Never follow children or animals."
That's right, I tell ya.
Everybody's like, "Who's W.C. Fields?"
From the 20s, like 1920s, right?
Right, but I mean that's how old we are. I mean, I don't want to say me. I'll say me, but I've got a football hangover from the last 4 days of action, Mindy, combined with that exciting game last night. Maybe we can start there on the late game in case anybody went to bed. Aaron Rodgers could be out for the next game or two, or maybe it's over for Aaron Rodgers for the season. Mindy, Jordan Love came in, not replacing Aaron Rodgers. If Aaron Rodgers wants to play and
He'll
is ready
play.
to play next game with his ribs, he's going to be in there. And I imagine he wants to play until they are mathematically eliminated, even if it is the slimmest of chances. I think he'll be in there until it has the X by their name in the newspaper. But maybe for a week, we'll see. Uh, Aaron injured his ribs, so he's dealing with the healing of a broken thumb. Jordan Love came in. You remember Jordan Love? He's been around for like 10 years.
Right.
Seems like it's only been 3 or 4. What is it? But we did see the best Jordan Love we've seen yesterday. Almost let him do a little bit of a comeback, a mild comeback late. The Green Bay, they really cost themselves with those 2 quick touchdowns for Philadelphia. Not that Philly didn't go right down the field and score, and then turn the early interception on the first drive by Aaron on the tip pass into another score. But when it came down to being a 6.5, 7 point game, some people may have gotten beat there. Some people may have gotten sided. I got a push on the back end. Hope everyone was able to get a 7 there. But yesterday's NFL card, we learned. I don't know what we learned.
Yeah, I don't know either. I think everything for the most part kind of stayed, in place. Record wise, wasn't really any, huge, upsets. Maybe the Ravens there a little bit, but I think we kind of expected that. We were on the Jacksonville side there.
It was hard.
Yeah, right. But the Green Bay, they just had a little bit of a leaky run defense there, and I think that's what really hurt them. Overall, some big plays, like I said, those 20-yard rushing plays. You can't allow those to happen. 5 or 6 times a game. Not going to win a whole lot of games doing that. But I thought overall, I thought Green Bay actually looked a little bit better, played better than what they had been, minus a couple big, mistakes.
Yeah, they've got an exciting young receiver. It's funny, they've got Dobbs too, who got hurt, of course, but I don't know if anything for Aaron. I don't know. I made fun yesterday about maybe going to the Raiders. We made fun, or I did, of the Raiders wanting to part ways with Derek Carr. It doesn't look like a great idea, right? Unless you could get a guy maybe like Aaron Rodgers. That still might not be the best idea. Why the Raiders want to give up on this guy, a heart and soul guy? Talk about injured ribs.
Right.
His injury looked far worse than Rodgers' ribs injury did, and
Came back
Carr
in.
was back in there the next play throwing a touchdown pass. I mean, say what you will, like we say every show, Mindy. We've got a dozen guys. Maybe you can play this game properly from the quarterback position. Carr got to be one of them. I mean, this guy, leading them to the road victory yesterday. They haven't had a great time, but Seattle.
He's been minus Renfro, minus Waller. I mean, he's been really without a lot of his weapons as well, So I like Derek Carr. I think they should keep him. I think he's, can be the face of this franchise for quite a bit longer.
Hey, Mindy, I had the Carolina Panthers. Seemed like nobody wanted to get on the Carolina Panthers yesterday against the Denver Broncos. Looked like one of the best bets on the board in the end.
Right? For sure. Yeah. I mean, especially with Darnold coming back, kind of looked like he didn't really miss a beat. So from like, week 1 or 2. So, looking pretty good.
Yeah, he's garbage, really. But they're going up
I thought
against
he
a
was
Denver
okay.
team. A Denver team, Atlanta, Washington. That was a pretty thrilling game, certainly. Man,
Atlanta
Washington,
still
they
kicking
really,
field goals. That's all I do.
yeah, yeah. Well, they have heart. They stay in it. Still got to be. Robinson is just incredible. By the way, I mean, you wonder about a man's moxie, a person's moxie. Let's just say too. Anything can happen in any male or female sport. But maybe Robinson would have came in and been this guy. But sometimes when you're faced with life's challenges, you gain perspective too, and that really can inspire you when you get your opportunity. So he's been
But what I really
incredible.
like about him, Ramon, is, he is like the epitome of team player there. I mean, there
Oh,
was never a guy that was more excited to see another guy score a touchdown than him. If you watch him out on the field, like he was just jumping up and down, when they were throwing touchdowns. I mean, like he just looks like, he is the guy there in Washington. And he looks like I said, he looks like a team player, a guy that you can really rally around. So,
and this
you know.
build, I mean, I know he kind of reminds me like looks like he could really develop into one of those guys that
He looks like
everybody
a
loves.
Eddie George or something, like a big,
Oh, okay.
intimidating kind of guy to
Oh,
me.
okay. I don't know. I kind of almost wanted to put him in, the category of some of the Cordero and the
Okay, so
Tito kind of category in a way too. I mean, uh, he looks like he can move a little bit, but he can't, doubt the heart. Certainly. I mean, the way he goes into the line too and crashes into people, yeah, because them doesn't have much fear. So I took a loss with Tennessee yesterday. The Bengals came up clutch.
yeah, they did.
Um,
Or
you know,
Tennessee mistakes there at the end. But again, it's, coming down to having to win close ones, right?
unusual for Tennessee. So I think, in a way, you can say, well, we'll give Tennessee another chance because they don't typically make those type of mistakes, but also don't slight the Bengals. They're one of the hottest teams in the AFC and are right up there with the contenders. We know Kansas City and Tennessee and Cincinnati in the AFC right now all look pretty sharp. Baltimore, that loss really kind of knocked them down. You mentioned it. I won't go back on that game, but I think a little bit of a culmination for Jacksonville. All the work they put in. I mean, as far as some of the late drives yesterday, I don't know if there was anybody better in the league than Trevor Lawrence was yesterday down the stretch. ATN, he's hurt again. Okay, whatever. We want to prop him up every time he's in there, and he gets hurt at crucial times. So, got to wonder a little bit about him. But Houston and Miami, Mindy, we took a loss with Team Steam. What can you say? Miami, it came close to that number, but Miami just super impressive once again. I don't know. Apologize to Dolphins fans not throwing them up there with the top contenders right now. They might be the forgotten team.
Well, I mean, it would have been maybe, I know we were challenging each other there. I had the over, and of course they sit, Tua the second half. I think
Yeah,
that's a different
that's right.
game if
That's why they
they,
came back. Yeah.
if they, kept him in there. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that one there plays out too. Yeah, I thought, defensively, I thought Tennessee could hang in there a little bit longer, but it looks like it was just, too much steam there by a Dolphins team. And that Dolphins team also took advantage of any sort of mistakes that Tennessee had.
Hey, Mindy.
Yeah.
Goal, 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 goal. Goal for Ghana. Or for South Korea, blew it right there.
Yeah,
South
right,
Korea
right.
has just scored in the World Cup. It's 2-1 in favor of Ghana.
That's
Uh,
who your pick was yesterday,
Yeah, we're going to
Ramon.
get back to the NFL in just a moment, but that's a goal in the World Cup right now. I promised Mindy I'd give a goal call every time I saw a goal, anyway, if I'm paying attention. And I want to mention them. If anybody's here for my, World Cup picks, because it looks like I'm going to go for an 8-0 performance off those picks yesterday. Not just bragging about it. You can go back and look at it. But
Yeah.
I'm going to get out some more picks today if we're going to go 8-0. This one I already cashed with the over and did recommend Ghana on the Asian handicap plus a quarter of a goal. They're up 2-1. I'll mention them when we get to that segment, but goal just a minute ago in the game. So also, Mindy, wrap up this NFL. Mike White, one of the best quarterbacks in the league, probably at this point. We talked him up. I think we talked him up, and I think he even exceeded those expectations there. We did take a loss, team steam there on the total, but I think we were in with White.
Yeah, I mean, he looked really good, especially in poor weather conditions. I mean, can't say anything bad about the guy right now. Again, he's another guy. It looks like that team likes to rally around, so they might be pretty tough with White. They look like a different team with him in there, I must
And
say.
we covered the news about Simeon starting, and it became a bit of a controversy because Simeon, I know people. I get on the league sometimes or the teams because they're not equitable partners with the betting companies if they're going to take the big money from the betting companies and not be forthright. And I know a lot of people were upset yesterday, but he had a pregame injury. I mean, there's not much you can do about that. So they say the other guy, Peterman, might get the start and goal.
Who
South
was it?
Korea
South
scores
Korea right
again.
away? Oh my
Oh boy,
goodness.
it might go 7-1 here. They've come all the way back. Well, I'd get a push on one bet and half of a win on another, but it looks like South Korea within 5 minutes span has possibly tied this game up with Ghana with their backs against the wall. So anyways, I'll continue on. Maybe we got to get to the picks. I know that's why
I know,
everybody
right?
not to hear me do these goal calls as much fun as I'm having with it. A beautiful header for South Korea, and this game is probably going to go in 2-2 for the final 30 minutes of the game here. So, anyways, Mindy, Arizona, I had them as a premium pick against the Chargers. The Chargers can't be trusted, or can they? I thought they showed a lot of grit as well. They just couldn't necessarily stop Arizona, but they kept coming back too. That turned out to be a pretty exciting game in that one. The Chargers, Chargers won the game.
Yeah, they won. They just
Right.
didn't cover the spread.
My Chargers, right. I should know better. My Chargers won. I still covered that number with Arizona. Maybe that was actually quite the prediction we were looking for in that game. Also, Mindy, Kansas City, the Rams, poor guy for the Rams, did a pretty nice job. Their young quarterback there, but was really up against it, but still came down to
A half a point.
yeah, 26-10. 26-10 was it? I think in that one. So yeah,
Yeah.
that was a tough beat for us there. New Orleans, they laid an egg, even though they had a chance to cover the spread at the last twice in the last couple of possessions in the fourth quarter. And we mentioned the night game. So let's head over to Tony'sPicks.com, take a look, and hats off to Collins Brown with a 6-0 day over there. Tiffany crushing it yesterday, 60% at 15-10. Daniel with a 4-1 day as well. Nick and Hollywood Sam over on the 7-day board. Collins rolling right now of late, coming in about 65%. I've got the 30-day leaderboard topped off right now. And we got picks locked and loaded for today. Collins is there with a 5-pack, and why not? Collins went 6-0 yesterday. We're going to promote our guys. Certainly, it's not all about Mindy and I. If you're coming off a 6-0 day, give Collins a shot if you'd like today. We're going Mindy and I have packages coming up as well. Tony's got a $15 best bet in the NFL night game where we'll start our night. The GM has a pick in the NFL as well, the $15 guarantee. Daniel with that NFL best bet. And Nick has a play tonight, it looks like, in hockey for a best bet. Ben Ruhala has got 2 NBA and 1 NFL. And Paul Lagarrettos with his World Cup monster play tomorrow. I think I know what it is, but I'm not going to give it away here. I'm just guessing and I'm just speculating, but I watch Soccer Picks daily every day, and you should too, with Paul Lagarrettos, 2:15 Eastern, 1:15 Mindy, and 11:15 Pacific. 5 days a week, Tony hosts Paul Lagarrettos, Soccer Picks daily. Every day has been World Cup picks and previews, so make sure you check that out. That's why I'm 7-0-1 right now on these games because I watch Soccer Picks daily. So, all right,
All right.
Mindy, don't forget, click on the All Cappers tab to get signed up. Save 20% when you use the promo code TonyT at checkout. And you can also get our Team Steam picks that we're about to give right now, our complimentary selections, just by clicking on the Morning Steam and subscribing to one of these packages. And you're going to get the picks for free, so you don't have to. But if you miss the show and you want our picks, you don't want to go back and watch the videos and queue them up and listen to all that, you can pick up the packages right here, and you see there's a little bit of a cost for that, but you'll get all the picks that we make, even if you don't make every show. So, all right, hope that's enough promotion. Hope everybody's tired of me talking about it, anyways. So, yep. Yep. And Jose Sierra calling out some of our numbers.
That's right.
Thank you
Ramon is
very
the
much.
best.
Yep. I don't mind though. 2 ways to get there, Jose. You know that. Like I said, Mindy and I preached about the volume
Right.
because it just takes you longer maybe to get to where you want to go with lower volume. Even with a strong winning percentage, a higher volume can get you where you want to go. You know, I how to just say it, Mindy, but something like a 25-15 in a 1 or 2 day span. Let's call it 2 days, right? It's going to take a long time to get there with just 3 to 5 plays per day. You have to step up your stake a little bit, and the volatility in sports betting can really do some damage there if you're not clicking at a decent winning percentage. So, anyways, we got a great team here, so that's not too much of a problem. But not every site does it like this. I respect all the multi-capper sites out there that are keeping records like we do, like our friends across the street, a couple of the other major sites as well. We're in there, Mindy. We're in. We are a major site, Tony'sPicks.com, and we're going to preview right now the games for today on Monday, starting with the National Football League. We gave you a little rundown there. See what Mindy has to say. Yeah, I don't know, Mindy, if you want to watch basketball or even take the night off, you can.
You know I'm not taking the night off, Ramon. Come on.
NFL Monday Night Football. So even though it is the Steelers and the Colts, we're stuck with it because it's Monday night. They don't. I don't think they can flex out Monday night. They can only flex out Sunday night games, and I think even next week's a problem because they're only allowed so many flex outs, and they have to save 1 or 2 for some bigger flex outs. But that's some Tony stuff that he likes to talk about the TV. Tonight we're stuck with the Steelers and the Colts, but there are storylines. Obviously, with the Colts, a little bit of resurgence with Saturday, and the Steelers, that steel curtain looking like aluminum foil.
Yeah, and it's funny because the Steelers are my fantasy defense, like you're talking about there.
Oh boy!
So I'm well aware of how they've been playing, right? Steelers coming off a loss to the Bengals, but they did put up 30, in that loss there. Colts are giving up about 20 points a game here. Steelers allow 24. But yeah, I mean, because of the lack of defense here, I think this one's going to go over the total, over 6-2 in the last 8 meetings between the Steelers and the Colts here. I like how everyone's been playing on these two teams right now. I think they're kind of hitting their strides. So yeah, I'm going to go over the 39.5 here today.
Well, I mean, it's definitely ticked down. There's no doubt about that. I mean, I think it was probably 40.5 at the top, right? Coming into it. So, you're getting probably the best price, I would say, in this game. But man, I have some concern and doubts because, well, I mean, not that they can't. Hey,
I hope it's Ghana.
go! It's
All
Ghana.
right.
Ghana with a goal. 3-2. What a game! It gave you the over in this game. Over 2 goals, I think it was, Mindy. So way over the total. I'll cover all these soccer winners I gave out. Hopefully, got people here for some soccer winners. Let me get back to the Steelers and the Colts. This isn't a great soccer game, I'll tell you. It's exciting, but it's not aesthetically. Well, when you got goals, everybody loves goals, but
Right.
5 goals. I guess after all those zeros, it's a welcome sight. So, Mindy, it's not so much, I think, about the inability to score as more the tempo of the two teams. I mean, I would think that the Colts are interested in running. I would think that the Steelers are interested in running their top back. I imagine both of the top backs will be approaching 20 carries in the game. So, your buddy, uh,
Matty Ice.
Matty Ice, right? I was gonna try and think of a funny name for him, but that's almost funny as it is now looking back on it. And Pickett for the Steelers. So do they have enough weapons here? So I don't know. That's kind of the way that I was leaning, but I'm gonna go with the Colts in this one, minus the 2.5. Mindy says go over with Steelers and Colts. I might be all against you. You know what?
It happens.
In this one, I don't want to go against you here on the air. I'll save it for the clientele. So I don't want to, anybody to think that. I'm not sure. I'm thinking about it, but everybody kind of read between the lines.
Right.
Maybe they can save $25. To pay me later. All right, pay Ramon later. Pick up our past, Mindy and I, here on the morning team. I just saw your shirt. It's funny. Yeah, there you go.
It's kind of early for this shirt, isn't it? This tailgate runs on Busch Light. Ready for my Monday Night Football?
Well, right. If you were hanging out at Arrowhead, you could probably get started. So, anyways, I'll take the Colts. I'm gonna ride with Jeff Saturday. I've been one to come to his defense in this whole situation. Like I said,
Yeah.
He knows football. Okay, I mean, just because the owner called him on a whim, probably after a few Busch Lights,
right,
or some, I don't know, something else, some other drugs or something, and offered him the job, doesn't mean that this guy isn't. I've already been into it about Jeff Saturday. Probably no Mike Tomlin, but I'd like to see him keep the job. Actually, I hope it's not interim. I think look, half the guys in the league can't coach anyways. Mindy, come on.
right.
They're no more qualified, I would think, than Saturday. So I'm on the Colts. Mindy's on the over tonight. Pittsburgh. And
I only need 3 scores. Only need 3 scores, folks.
I know I'm stalling, but I'm kind of giving the chat, make sure it's working. It says that we got a couple dozen people in here, and nobody wants to make a call on this game. Probably feeling the same way.
Where are you, Team Steam?
Yeah. Well,
leaving Ramon out to dry, hanging him out to dry.
Well, we're locked in. Our plays are locked in. So no comments from the chat. Let's go to the NBA. Maybe
they're watching soccer.
Maybe they'll get warmed up. Well, I am, and I'll have picks coming up in the next game. Trying to my 8-0 is in line. You can go back and watch it, everybody.
That's right.
Just not saying I went 8-0. Just say it. All right, Mindy. Let's go into the NBA tonight. This is a good card. I don't mind this card at all. Hawks and the Sixers. Sixers been looking pretty decent of late. This one, I'm going to make sure I got the latest lines up there. The lines that you see are probably maybe 90 minutes to 2 hours old. So I'm showing this one. That total is actually just a typo. So let me try to start the show correctly and make sure they record the right one. And started off with the Hawks and the Sixers. And the Sixers here, they're getting a point. Total is 221.
Yeah, Hawks here, 3-6 on the road against the spread. Philly 7-4 against the spread. I have Philly in this one by about 5. I think they're going to be able to extend their win streak here to 3 games. Embiid, I think he might be back here as well. I'll be taking the 76ers here today, Ramon.
All right, Mindy's going to take the Sixers in this one at home, getting a point. They opened 2 at some spots, went all the way up to Atlanta -1 now. That I have some concerns kind of about that, but I kind of lean with you here. I think Philly might be the right call in this one, especially if that's the injury situation coming in. And if that is the injury situation coming in, I'll tell you what else. probably going to like it under too. But I'm going to go with you in this one, Mindy, and let's get it started with a premium. We gotta get some winners from yesterday. We
Right.
need some winners. Let's go with Philly again. I feel like Philly has been hot. They're 8-2 against the spread over the last 10. Atlanta just 3-7 against the spread the last 10. Not worried about the spread here, right? We're just worried about winning. So Philadelphia 4-7.
Yeah. I was mad about those Knicks yesterday, because I had them plus 2.5. They wound up winning by 4, and they fouled the guy with no time left, so they were able to shoot free throws with no time to beat me by a half a point or point and a half. I just wanted to air my grievance there.
Yeah, no, I didn't really have much else to throw in. I was going to throw into my lean, if you will, to the under. Philadelphia 4-7 to the under at home, but Atlanta 7-2 to the over on the road. So maybe that's why I kind of balked there, and I
Gotcha.
kind of like Philly coming in here. They've made me some money this week or two for sure. I've been riding them a little bit during this recent hot streak. So, all right. Hope to hear from you guys in the chat. Minnesota and Washington in this one. Hope it's working. That's what I really mean to say.
Here, I'll check it out. Let's see.
Oh, okay.
I'm
sure it is, Mindy. Everybody's just got the Mondays and only a couple dozen with us today so far.
It's working. Hi, Ramon.
Okay. Minnesota and Washington. I'm showing Minnesota has moved to a 1-point favorite here. The total has dropped dramatically in this one to 226.5. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, both coming in with losing streaks here, both 4-6 against the spread, home and away. I was going to look to the under. I'm already missing some value here. Under is 4-0 in Timberwolves last 4 Monday. Also under in the last 6 road games here versus a team with a winning record. So yeah, I like the under. I had it. That puts me a little bit closer. I had this one 4 points. Now that would put me at about 2. So it's a slight advantage here, to the under.
I've got it as a somewhat good advantage to the under, Mindy. Maybe my window was only about down to 223, and I definitely liked it better. 229.5 was available, but I'm under in this game. So we're going to start off with 2 premium consensus selections here, as I like the under 226.5. I'm not even sure on the side at this point in this game. It's kind of bouncing back and forth a little bit. Minnesota 1-point favorite. They were 1.5. Went back down to even. So not sure, but I like the under. I like the under for sure.
Sounds good. Consensus play.
2 for 2 so far. Magic and the Nets, and I'm showing the Nets here favored by 10. The total is 223.
Yeah, you got the Magic here. They're the 2-6 road team versus the Nets. They're 4-5 at home, though. But in this one, historically, Magic 6-1 against the spread the last 7 in Brooklyn. It's going to be real close for me because I have the Nets by about 9, so it's real close. But so I'm going to take the Magic here at plus 10 today, Ramon.
Yeah, I mean they're getting the best of the number. I mean the early sendout was Brooklyn by 7, so
right.
already up to 10.5 in this one. That kind of startles me almost a little bit. I think in this one, but man, for me at 223, oh boy, I kind of want to go with the Magic. I don't know if I trust this number necessarily at all, the double digits right now. Orlando not covering numbers. We know that. 2-6-1 against the spread on the road. Brooklyn 6-4 against the spread last 10. I've kind of been on Brooklyn a little bit of late. Over 4-1 in the last 5 meetings. I'd like the double digits. I like the double digits.
All right, let's go Magic.
3 for 3. Man, we're coming in hot and heavy. Let's see if we can get some comments from the chat. Okay. All right.
We got one. Good job, you guys.
That makes me feel a little better because, I mean, we're on the whole card at this point. Not that that's a bad thing. I mean, like I said, there are only different 8 combinations, right, that we can do. 4 per game, 4 per side, So, all right. Cleveland and the Raptors here. We're seeing a little bit of movement on this one. I've got the Raptors minus 2.5, and the total is up to 216. Wow.
Yeah, I actually, I have the Cavaliers, in my modeling winning by a bucket. I know that they don't play well, in Toronto there, but they are 11-2 against the spread in the last 13 following a win. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Cavs here, especially if they get another point and a half there in this one. Cavs plus 2.5.
All right, Mindy's on the Cleveland Cavaliers here. Plus 2.5, right? That's a good thing
Yeah.
because, I mean, it was Toronto, like maybe -1 when it opened, and now it's up to 2.5. I know the Sharps are kind of coming in. It looks like on Toronto here. I'm not uh, enthralled necessarily with it, but boy, at 216 now, I mean, it's kind of going crazy a little bit at 216. It's going to go a little bit higher, I would think. Now, Toronto is 3-6 to the under at home. Cleveland 5-6 straight up on the road. Toronto 2-7 straight up at home. I have to lay the points here to Mindy now. I have to lay an extra bubble. I'll do it. I'm going to go up against Mindy just because I have no value here on the side. If I want to, I like Toronto. Now I'm laying 2.5 to Mindy. So just going to make it a free selection here, folks. You can hold me to it. We're making a win.
Challenge, Mindy.
One of us is going to win this game. So too bad. One of us is going to win this game, Mindy, and I'm going to take Toronto. You're going to take Cleveland. Like I said, Toronto much better at home, and but you're right. Series-wise, it's been interesting between these two teams. So. If we give out one of the each, like the old, they used to make fun of the touts that would, give out one team to half the country and the other team to the other half. That way they'd always be, they get customer attention 50%. But we're not doing that here. We just didn't agree on that game. All right, Charlotte and Boston in this one, and I'm showing Boston here now up to 10.5. Everyone's talking. Mindy, this has been the wild mover of the day, totals wise. This thing's up to 226. It's getting totally steamed.
Oh, geez. Yeah, because what did that start at? 220?
Yeah, this is not a typo. That 219 was not a typo. This one is all the way up to 226, which it's so bad. I mean, I'm so terrible. I mean, at 219.5, that was just a couple of hours ago, maybe. And now it's my number, my high window on my model was 227.
See, mine is 228.
Yeah, totally missed out on this one. We've got a show to do. I'm not going to, tell anybody that, we're not still, I mean, the over still looks like the call to me. And,
but now it's real slim.
Say it again, Mindy.
I said, but now it's really slim, right? So, like I said, I had 28.
It probably was a premium pick, is what I'm saying. But I'm probably still gonna. I'll let you see what you have to say. I mean, it sounds like you're on the over. So, are you anymore? Are you gonna switch now?
I mean, well, it's one of those like I don't know if I could do that anymore. You know what I mean? Like it's given me such a small variance now. Both these teams here are coming in on winning streaks. Charlotte 6-4 on the road here, Boston 7-3. I kind of had the Celtics here by 7, so I would take the Hornets. So I think I'm going to go that route. I'll take the Hornets here at plus 10.5.
Okay, well, I really like the Hornets as well, but I'm going to give out the total over because I still like the total. They go over.
Yeah.
I like yeah, probably going to saving them for later. I'll go over in the video because now you're right. The value is totally out the window. Even at that 2, my window went high and I was like, I still like this game over. I saw the steam come in. It couldn't have been more than, maybe less than an hour ago as I was prepping for the show because I write down every, kind of steam move that comes across. That's why they're the morning steam. We're trying to tell you these line moves. That's why I kind of have an older line in there and I try to update as we go along. What you're seeing are not in real time, but I mean, this is from Right. This is from just a couple of hours, seeing how the line has moved while you're still, getting ready for work, just waking up or whatever, and what the overnight line kind of was. Because, in my opinion, the market kind of opens really. 8:30 Pacific time was always kind of considered the traditional opener, but because of the advent of wagering nationwide, to me it's about 5:30 in the morning my time, 6:30 Mindy, and 8:30 Eastern time now when you start to see books kind of filling in the blanks on some of the games and everything. And this one has moved over considerably, and I'm kicking myself. But Mindy's on Charlotte plus 10.5, pretty good. Could have had, they were 11, as high as 11.5. And watch out, it might be going back up. But like you said, Mindy had it graded as a single digit game. Boston, I hope you're not underrating Boston, Mindy, but they're just mowing people down a little bit of late. The way they've been going, Cages in the house. So, all right, and I am on the over 226. Let me finish out what we're talking about. All right,
Gotcha.
Thunder and Pelicans, Thunder and Pelicans. All right, in this one, I'm showing currently the Pelicans 5.5 totals up to 233.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, these teams are 9-4 to the over in the last 13 in New Orleans. OKC also is trending way to the over. Pelicans, do have under trends, but if you take a look at their, last three game here, they're well over the 120s. So I don't feel too bad about taking the over here in this one today.
I don't either, except we're not getting 231. So I'll make it
Right.
a free play with you and go on the over in this one, I think, in Orlando. I mean, in OKC and New Orleans. You know, liked it at 231. I think I can get behind this at 233. I mean,
Okay.
after all, OKC is on a 9-1 overrun. The last 10, the teams are combined 25 and 14 to the over. So we'll mention OKC 10-5 against the spread as an underdog. Might be a nice price today, but the steam did come in on New Orleans. It didn't affect the price too much. It went up from 4.5 to 5.5. A little bit of a significant move, but I'll go over with Mindy here, over 233 on some of these. Man, we got some points expected in this one. All right, we got a premium consensus. Wapik is here, Mindy. Awesome to have Wapik here, coming in with some plays here on the NFL game. So looks like he might be just a little behind in the stream, but I
Yeah.
just want to mention Wapik because we haven't seen him here before, and I don't mind that he's going with oh no.
No goal. No goal.
So great to have
Pittsburgh
Wapik in
Steelers
here.
money line, huh? Okay. Got it.
Glad to have, and that's, hey, he's taking the dog on the money line there. So awesome to have Wapik in here uh, as another part of Team Steam. Where were you at the beginning of the show, Wapik? You
Right,
came in
right,
late.
right,
You might have swayed me off. I was looking for help as I went with the Colts. Okay, so we got the play on Thunder Pelicans. We're going consensus play over, and now we take a look at the Rockets and the Nuggets in this one. And I'm showing the Nuggets are down to 11.5. Totals dropped pretty considerably to 229.
Yeah, Rockets, 6-5 against the spread on the road. Denver 3-3 at home. It's one of these again. Like I kind of only had the Nuggets here by 4. So yeah, I mean I kind of like the Rockets here. I know they're 2-5 in the last 7 in Denver. But the Rockets here lately, they've had good wins over OKC, Atlanta, Dallas. So I think I could get behind the Rockets here at plus 11.
It's hard, It's hard when you're talking about the uh, taking the Rockets, and now you're only getting 11 points. But I don't know. I think that's kind of the way I would look as well. I kind of wish it was a few more points. Certainly, again, at maybe as many as 12. It opened about 12. I said 11, and I meant 11.5, Mindy. I know people think I'm just giving you extra points to help you, but
You never give me extra
I
points.
am now because I'm just going off. We fire. Here's the thing about our picks, our premium picks over at Tony'sPicks.com. We're picking against two of the toughest uh, sports books in the
Right.
world. So it's not like we can just kind of pick or fudge the numbers a little bit. We're kind of given a little roster of a couple of sports books. They're two of the toughest books, highest volume books in the world, and basically got to pick out of those. And there's no fudging the numbers there. So one of those two books does have an 11.5, and I'm going to give Mindy the benefit of the doubt certainly on that. Again, like I said, it was up to 12. I am leaning to Houston here. Just yeah, I'm going to go with you on this one,
All
Mindy.
right.
Let's do
Let's
it.
do it.
Yep, yep. Um, uh, for me, I mean Denver 1-5 to the number at home right now. So uh, I also was considering under. You might see some action from me later. Houston 1-4 to the under off of a straight up win. They've only won 5 times this year. Don't know if they can make it 6 right now. We know the Nuggets are trying to get things back together a little bit after some protocols. So take Houston, play number 4. The Bulls and the Jazz. The Jazz are favored down to 1.5. Mindy, total 234.5. On the surface, looks a little odd, but who knows? I mean, the Bulls are playing pretty decent. Jazz have been playing decent, so maybe expected a bigger number, but I was hoping for a bigger number.
Right. Bulls 4-4 against the spread on the road. Jazz 5-3 at home. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the total here. I think I'm going to go to the under. It's 21-8 in the last 29 meetings, 10-3 in the last 13 in Utah. I know Chicago trends, pretty much way under. And neither team has really gotten into the 120s much here in the last 5 games. So like the under here.
I really do too. I really like the under. Let's make it our 5th play of this NBA card, and let's come out big
6.
tonight. I think in this one, Mindy. Yeah, a long-term series history of going under with these two. So I don't know how much you want to put into that. I mean, we're talking, 10 years worth of data because of the infrequency of these teams meeting just a couple of times every year. But maybe it's even longer. I think the 8-21-1 to the under. That's about 15 years worth of meetings, really. 3-10-1 to the under, last 14 in Utah. So that's probably 7 or 8 years as well. I used to just say it exactly, but you got to remember 1 year was played in the wobble half the season, right? So the bubble, and those are all neutral site games, and so and they were playing, conference opponents. So you used to be able to just say it was every 2 meetings every year, but it's not because of that 1 year where our lives were screwed up, and we're still paying the price. We're still paying the
Right.
price. Anyway, so let's go under, Mindy. That's a big number. Feel good about this one. We've got 5 plays so
It
far
was
with Team
6, Ramon.
Steam.
That was 6.
We have
That was
6
6.
plays so far with Team Steam. We're gonna be watching basketball tonight.
Right.
Yeah, want to say thank you as well to Edwin. He had a pick in there a little bit on one of the earlier picks. So if you can, try to put him in when we're talking about him. I know you might be watching the show on delay a little bit.
Right.
No big deal. The picks are still recorded in the chat. I just don't show them up on the screen unless we're actually in that game, because we cut up all of our videos and put them out there as solo. So I don't want to give out any other information on other games that might
Right.
detract from this one, for example, between the Phoenix Suns and the Sacramento Kings. Wow, Mindy, this is a big game early in the season with these two teams. Who would have thought? Well, we
It
thought the
is.
Suns, but the Kings are playing they're fun to watch. And what can you say? They're playing well at home. The Suns aren't playing well on the road, but I don't know. I mean, the Suns might take this one seriously. What do you have to say?
Yeah, it's one of those, like, the Suns, like you talked about, have that biggest discrepancy between the home and away wins, right? Suns are 3-1 versus the Kings in the last 3 years. I kind of look at the Suns maybe getting a little bit hot here. They are winners of their last 4, even though they were all at home with the caveat there, Ramon. But the Suns here also 5-1 the last 6 following a loss. I think I'm going to take the Suns and this bad road team here today, Ramon, see if they can break that streak.
Okay. Well, I didn't want to. I hope I didn't clamp that into your head. I know you're. It didn't. I mean, I know you're going with your numbers, your handicap, and whatnot. In this one, and I don't know. For me, I like Phoenix as well. I think you're okay with a 7-pack of games.
Of course I am.
We might get laughed off the site, but Reginald Luker, we want to thank you for coming in. He's on the Kings, but we don't mind. We're going to be on the Suns. Mindy, I'll ride the Suns with you, and we'll go up against Reggie. I don't want to lose, but Reginald is new to us. Don't mean to give
We're
you
new to the chat anyway.
Reginald. Right. I don't know if we've seen Reginald, so I want to accentuate his pick here for a moment on the site as he goes with the Kings. And look, it's hard because I'm just putting it out that I think the Suns are still better, and I think they'll look at this game as a significant game in the season. Yes, we know Phoenix just 2-5 straight up on the road. Sacramento 6-3 straight up at home. They feel very comfortable there right now. They've also done very well in this series. Usually they're getting points. 4-1 against the spread for the Kings in the series. This is going to be a wild one. This one is going to be. I think, Mindy, we're heading for 240 in this game. I don't think it's going to be, I'm going to have something later on this game because I think it's going to be a high-scoring game through the roof, and maybe that'll, help. I don't know who, I don't know if it's going to help one team or the other. I think that the tempo is going to be high, though, in this one. We're on the Phoenix Suns, Mindy and I. Reginald Luker on the Kings. No big deal. You're still part of Team Steam, Reginald. No doubt about it. Love to have your picks in there, Mindy. Exactly. We're going to the Suns here in this one. All right. One more game in the NBA, and it's the Pacers and the Lakers. That's okay. No big deal. Lakers are down to 3. Total 237.
Yeah, I mean, the Pacers here are 1-5 in the last 6 in LA. Lakers just put up a monster score, about 143 versus those Spurs. And then you have the Pacers. I think we were on them, or I was on them. I can't remember. They couldn't even put up 100 on the Clippers. What the hell? No, I think Ramon was on the Clippers, but Mindy, I was on the Pacers. But yeah, I couldn't even put up 100. I'm going with these Lakers right here today, Ramon. I'll take them. -3.
All right. I don't mind. I don't mind the Lakers at all in this spot, especially laying a discount of 3 points. I mean, they're trying to find themselves, I guess, a little bit in this one. I think this is another spot the Lakers can see a victory here and maybe even get this cover, especially at just 3 points. I don't know how you want to package up 8 plays today.
We can do it.
All right. Well, I mean, look, there's nothing. I mean, maybe it just seems like we're degenerate and going crazy, but our deal with the general manager and with Tony was to analyze these plays, and if we agree on the play, it's a consensus pick. I can't just go off on the total, because
Ramon said he liked the card. Look at that. See, that's what happens. We like it.
I don't know how you'll do it. We could probably break it up into time segments or something. But if you miss our picks, you can always buy them over at Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20% off all premium pick packages, including the Team Steam picks, 8 plays in the NBA today. We'll be in action here, Mindy, and having an exciting night with these. I don't even know if you want to run them down. So many.
Sure. Well, we can do it real quick. Magic +10, 76ers +1. The Timberwolves, Wizards under 226.5. Thunder, Pelicans over 233. Rockets +11.5. Then the Bulls and Jazz under 234.5. Suns +1, and then the Lakers -3. Sounds like wins. That's all I can say.
Okay, there you have it. Look at the NBA. Big card tonight on a Monday. We've selected some college basketball, 4 games today. Not as thrilling. Nothing can top the North Carolina
That was
Alabama
awesome.
game. 4 overtimes. I didn't want it to end yesterday. I thought they might find another overtime in them, but they got into an odd score there, so I guess it was over. It was over the total for sure.
Right.
What a game that was yesterday. Definitely was watching it all the way through, and the football was on, but you couldn't keep your eye off it.
Right? That's how I felt.
Minnesota and Virginia Tech. This is our early selection, if you will. We've got 4 college games to look at here, including this one. So let me call up. Maybe we'll have some changes on some of these lines as well. I'm showing Virginia Tech 12, 127.5.
Yeah, I mean, Minnesota here likes to play pretty slow tempo, half court game. They only give up 63 points a game here over their last 5. Virginia Tech here also struggled in their last 2 after getting out to a hot start with a 75-77 loss to College of Charleston and a 69-64 win over Charleston Southern. I think Minnesota here, they're going to be able to slow this down here. I think they're going to be able to keep it close within those 12 points. I like Minnesota here, +12.
Yeah, we're Minnesota. Minnie takes Minnesota plus the 12 points. It was a little higher. I've seen it as high as 13.5. So, been a little bit of movement there, but I like this game to go under. I'm not getting the best price at all. It was as high as 130.5, I think was the highest. So probably not going to make a premium pick for me. I like under in Minnesota and Virginia Tech in this one, Mindy, on Monday.
Good.
I was going to look. I think we did okay on the college.
Yeah, we won both yesterday, Ramon. We won both.
I thought so.
Yeah, of course we would. It's our best sport.
Ghana wraps it up. South Korea not happy with the official. Maybe on the time. Maybe the time. It seems pretty accurate now. I mean, I always wondered, in those games when they'd have the added time and they'd say, "Oh, the coach gets a red card at the end of the game. He might have spit on the ground just now." This guy's out of control. But you'd always say we're really only 5 or 6 minutes of as the guy was rolling on the ground for 10 minutes. Now we actually seem to get the accurate time. Just sucks that you have to wait on the guy to you don't see it
right
down to 0. But again, the problem there is you could have extra time onto the extra time that the referee is supposed to keep track of. So, but there really is a hot dispute with the official. I'd have to go back and see what this is all about. All right, Troy and Arkansas here in this one, and I'm showing right now that I can actually read these lines. Maybe there's so few games today. Arkansas 17.5, 139.
Yeah, I think there's only like 23 or something like that. Troy's putting up a bunch of points here. 86 is what they've been averaging. Arkansas 77. I know it's one of those that you're playing different types of competition here, but Troy is shooting percentage wise from the field better than Arkansas, and then also from the 3-point line. And I think that if they can just go ahead and continue that kind of pace, I think Troy can stay within the 18.5 points here today. I'll take Troy. Well, minus 17.5 now.
Yep. Troy plus those points for Mindy. She's going on the dog, right? You did
yes,
say, yep.
Correct.
Troy plus 17.5. Opened a little higher, so not the best price in this one. But I think for me, Mindy, I've got to look to the under. I respect this move at 139. Borderline premium here for me, Minnesota. We know 1-5 to the under so far. Tough for me on the spread. I mean, these teams are combined 4-9 against the spread. They're allergic to money, I guess. So I'll take under 139 as my free pick. And this one, Mindy, is on Troy. Troy Trojans. I got some news coming up also in college football,
Oh, yeah.
Mindy, regarding Troy. Maybe we can get to that as well here at the end. Pittsburgh and Northwestern in this one, and I'm showing Northwestern currently the favorite. This one's down. It's been going down. Northwestern's down to -7, 128.5.
Yeah, Northwestern's coming off that 42-43 loss to Auburn. Pittsburgh, I think they've not done so hot here really as of late. I mean, they are putting up 71 points a game, shooting 43%. So not terrible here from field goal range. But you got Northwestern here that isn't really doing a whole lot scoring wise. They're only shooting 39% here from the floor. I like Pittsburgh. I like them +7. Liked him better at +8.5.
Yeah, I'm sure you did, because I'm going to end up going against the Midwest Premier Sports League. I'm going on Northwestern -7 in this one against Pitt. I'm going to take that little bit of a bonus of the play. Northwestern 4-2 against the number. Pittsburgh 0-2-1 so far against the spread as a dog. I was kind of leaning over. I mean, they got steamed up from 126.5. But it just bothers me. Northwestern's 0-6 to the under so far. Pitt's 3-0 to the over as a dog, but Northwestern completely wants to slow you down. If you do like the under, you're getting a pretty decent price right now at 128.5, considering it was 126, even 126 at a low. So kind of was thinking over there, but that scares me. So I'm going to go against Mindy here.
Wow.
This one,
Challenge. Mindy versus Ramon.
I'm
Grudge
getting
match.
the best of the line for once with Mindy, and I'll take Northwestern. Mindy takes Pitt. We got 2 games we're against each other. One more here, Seattle. They've got a guy who scores some points. They always have a guy who scores some points. Seattle here against Washington. I'm showing Washington 5.5, 141.5.
Yeah, like you said, Seattle is putting up the points, 88 points a game here, 9th in the NCAA, where you have the opposite side of Washington, not even hitting 70 here. Seattle shooting 50% from the field. Washington 43, not terrible. I've watched Washington a couple times when they played against Cal Baptist and stuff. Minnesota. I mean, it's one of those, they're kind of a little bit of an up and down team here. So far, I don't have a whole lot of confidence in this Washington team unless they put in that big freshman. Once they put him in, they tend to rally a little bit, but they seem to, like to play their senior. They like to play a little bit more of consistency. Seattle's 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 road games. I'm going to take Seattle here +5.5, even though I think Washington might be able to get the win here.
Yeah, Benefield, that freshman looking good. Cam Tyson, the guy's just filling it up. Seattle always has a guy who can seem to score. That's what I'm talking about. Guy on San Diego State came from Seattle.
Yeah.
There's a good scorer here. So Washington 4-2 to the over so far. Seattle doing a pretty good job covering these numbers early on. But for me, I'm going to be on the over in this one. Not getting the best price at all. Opened as low as I think 138.5. So got it on a move here. I'm going over Seattle and Washington. Talking about that scoring. I mean, Keon Brooks. What can you say? He does a pretty good job there for Washington. So appreciate everyone in the comments on some of these games and cages coming in. He's got Washington and the over. So he's against Mindy, but he's on the over with me. So, all right, cages, good job. There's our 4 basketball games for tonight. No consensus, Mindy, which is troublesome because I think it's our best sport.
It is our best sport, yeah. It's all right. We'll have more tomorrow, Ramon. We always have another day.
We got to pump up our NBA mark, I think,
That's
is
right.
what we're working on here.
Exactly.
All right, going to go to the ice here for some games, a 5-game, 6-game package, I think, tonight. Get it started with the Maple Leafs and the Red Wings. I'll try to check the goalies out here if I can. But I'm showing right now in this one, the Maple Leafs are indeed 155 6.5 under 25 looks pretty good.
Geez, these Red Wings, though, they've been, kind of on fire here. Won the last 4 games, scoring 5 goals a game. Maple Leafs putting up 3. Red Wings 5-1 in their last 6 following a win. I like the Red Wings in the upset here on the home ice.
Mindy on the money line with these Red Wings.
That's right, Ramon.
All right. Well, I was thinking I didn't know what you were gonna do, and I'm like, well, maybe I'll put them on the puck line here, but I don't know if you're willing to go on them. I mean, I might. Just Detroit's 8-3 as a puck line dog, and Toronto's 4-15 as a puck line favorite. So even at minus $1.75, I think that's an okay price for Detroit. I mean, if you think of 8-3, I mean that's probably over minus $2
Right.
if you draw it out, and then certainly 4-15 is a favorite. 155 is not even going to be close to getting you home with a percentage like that. So I'll go with you, Mindy, just so we have another play, so we get another play going, because we can't have too many plays. And I like Detroit. Was thinking puck line. I'll go with them here. I know we've done some damage with Toronto. That's fine. Could be a tight game, right? I mean, I would think Detroit 4-7 to the under at home. Toronto 8-15 to the under overall, and the totals up there. I know it's juiced at 6.5, but probably see some action from me later. Hint, hint.
Hint, hint.
Devils, Rangers. This is a game of the night here, Mindy, I think, in this one.
Should be fun.
Well, I mean, Devils, we know how hot they've been. Rangers still a pretty good team. Got to put Vanasek right there. I mean, Shesterkin's great, but you got to put Vanasek right there as one of the top goalies so far this season. I don't know if anybody saw it coming as far as putting him up there with the top guys. He's a pretty good goalie, but right now he's really up there.
Yeah, I mean, and the Devils are putting up some goals here too, right? 4 goals a game in the last 2. Rangers have now been on a bad streak, lost 2 in a row. Haven't been able to score much. I do like the Devils. They are 9-0 in their last 9 road games. I'll take the Devils today.
I'm on the Devils. Come on, they're hot. Mindy just talked about it. 18-4 straight up. We'll mention the Rangers 1-9 to the under in those last 10 games, but I don't know, man. Devils might score some goals here on Shesterkin. I know he's great, but Devils are just hot. They're scoring. Maybe they can win a low-scoring game. Either way, I like the Devils.
Right.
Keep it going, especially at this price. I showed Rangers there minus 110. The Devils are probably
minus 110, right?
Yeah, right. If you want to call it a pick 'em at minus the square, I say the square books. When I say the square books, I'm referring to a book that will book a pick 'em as minus 110 each side. When I refer to a sharp book, I'm referring to those that might offer minus 105 on each side or lower. They kind of cater to higher volume, bigger bets, and pass those savings along. So, all right, we're 2 for 2 on. We're back.
Here we go. On a roll.
Well, Scotch is on them too, so that at least gives us a little bit more support for our play in this one. All right, I'm just checking those goalies, Mindy, to see if there's been. Really have no confirmations here on these, so we'll just keep rolling and go with what we have listed. Unless you saw something else you could mention, but I've got the Golden Knights. They're taking money, it looks like, on the road here. Now 275, 6.5, over 15. They were as low as 225, but you expect it. Vegas is taking money right now. They're hot.
Because the Blue Jackets are ranked 30th in goals against,
That too.
Yeah. And, the Golden Knights are ranked 4th in goals for. So, yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a mismatch here. So I'm going to go ahead and look to the over. It's 6-0 in the Golden Knights' last 6 road games. 6-2 in the Blue Jackets' last 8 overall here as well. We'll take the over.
Okay. All right, Mindy's going to go over with the Golden Knights and the Blue Jackets in this one. Yeah, I kind of like this actually. This over. I know some steam just kind of came in on the under, and yeah, I know it's 6.5, but Vegas is just looking so good right now. I mean, really. I mean, and on the road, it doesn't matter where they play, right? They're also 8-1 as puck line favorites. They're putting down these games in significant fashion. I mean, they're crushing teams right now. Also, VGK they score the goals on the road too. You mentioned 8-3 to the over on the road. CBJ 10-3 to the over at home. We got to go over, Mindy. Over
All right.
6.5, and this one 3 for 3. Oh man, we could just have a big night tonight. Let's do it.
Got it.
All right. Yep. Tampa Bay and Buffalo here, and I'm showing Tampa Bay $1.65, 6.5 over 20 now. Looks like the total's creeping up a little bit.
Yeah, I like the Lightning. They're 5-1 in their last 6 here overall. Won the last 4 out of 5 games. Sabres have only won 2. Sabres also not really scoring. Only scored 2 goals in each of their last 3 games here. So I like the Lightning at -165 today.
All right, Mindy does like Tampa Bay -165 in this one. Well, we can't agree on every game, Mindy. I'm going to come in on Buffalo, but I'm going to take the puck line. Maybe we can, get a close game there. I mean, Buffalo, they're just 2-10, 2-8 in their last 10 games. I know that Tampa Bay's going to own the series, but I'm just going to take them on the puck line. The over's 5-1-1 last 7 meetings. I don't know if I trust Tampa to get the 2-goal victory here. So Mindy's on Tampa. I'm on Buffalo puck line. What am I laying there? $1.65. I'll do it. Just a free pick,
right,
on Tony's Picks YouTube channel that we want to get right.
Of course, that's our whole goal. Sweep the board.
Stars and Blues in this one. And I'm showing right now the Stars. Yep, they're about -$1.15 or so. Total 6 over 15. So this total's dropped about 10 cents.
Well, I mean, I don't know. The Blues here, they're giving up 5 goals a game over their last 3. And the Stars, they've scored almost 4 goals, a game in their last 3 as well. I'm going to take a look at the over. Looks like that, line looks a little bit better for me. Overs 10-2-2 in the Stars last 14 overall, 6-1 the Blues last 7 overall here as well. I'm going to try the over, even though it looks like other folks might be liking the under here.
I don't see how. I mean, at 6 goals and it's only -$1.15. About 2/3 of the model has 6.5 under juiced a little bit. So I just think it's a good price. I don't know if I really feel one way or the other like it's going to be a steadfast 7-goal game, but at 6 goals at this price, I have to like it. And Scotch likes it too. All right, Mindy. I'm in 4 games we agree on right now in hockey in that one. I think you can expect to see a side from me in this game, so I won't talk too much. I'm giving away too many paid plays.
Premiums.
So I'll just lay off. I won't comment too much about the texture of the game or anything like that because I think I'm probably going to go with a premium in this one. But I do like the over. So I don't know if you can read between the lines there on some of the things that maybe Mindy said. I don't know if it really. All right.
You just so want to tell us.
I do. I want to be because only if we get lucky, if we get some multiple people to get picks.
This might be the only premium that I'm on today.
But you know what? It always goes. Here's the great thing about it, Mindy. Right. I mean, here's the great thing about it. All of our premium picks, if you didn't know, are documented over at tonyspicks.com. Go to the handicapper profile page, and all of our picks are graded there. Just usually after the line services post the game as a final, that's what's tied into our system. Right. It's all electronically done, so we don't wait for any manual grading or anything like that. It just goes right into the system. Usually within a few minutes, the game is right up there, corrected and graded for all the world to see. So, all right, one more game in the NHL, Panthers and Oilers. Bob is in there. Campbell might be in there tonight. And what do you think about this kind of a standalone nightcap?
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that Bob has a good game here. Panthers 5-2 in the last 7 in Edmonton. Oilers have only put up 2 goals a game, so as long as like I said, he has a good night on goal, I'll feel pretty good about this one. Panthers, they've put up 4 goals in their last 5 here as well, so I like the Panthers here tonight in this pick'em game.
Well, we need a 5-pack. I mean, we can't have an even number of games and make life difficult for Mindy, the executive
Right.
producer of this show and of Team Steam. Uh, let's go with Florida, Mindy. I like Florida in this one. I think Class might win out here. Well, look, I love Edmonton. They're exciting. A lot of trends of the over here, and that's why you're seeing the number mostly. I'm showing some 6.5s now. In fact, on our back end, Mindy, this one's gone to 6.5 over, and only minus 120. Usually, you're dealing with a lot bigger chalk when you start juicing up and down the 6.5s and 7s together,
Right.
because that number is likely more achievable with a high scoring game. If you get to 6 and you get to 7, it's a fine line when you're talking about the juice. And I've talked about before on the show how the juice is so important on hockey totals. Sometimes we take it for granted just saying 6, 6.5, 7, or whatever, but might be could combine 24, 15, and 3 to the over this season between these two teams, and now it's dipped to 6.5. I think Mindy did say we want Bob to have a good game, but we don't, doubt that the Panthers. I think we agree that the Panthers can score. The Oilers can score at home. But anyways, let's go with the Panthers for a 5-pack tonight.
All right.
Mindy. We've got
What a way to end the show.
we've
What a
got
way
like
to end it.
13 games, 13 picks in 2 sports tonight. So just want to, okay, Mindy. So I'm just going to cover this.
Oh, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, to write them down. I know you bet them all yesterday, okay, but I gave out on the show yesterday Croatia over Canada and over. That was a winner. I gave out Germany and Spain. I said correct score line, even 1-1. I did whisper 0-0. Said maybe sprinkle that one a little bit as well, but I repeated 1-1 twice for correct score line. Final was 1-1, and I also called for the draw as a winner. So 4-0. You could call it 5-0 there with a prop that paid 1-1 was the favorite. I'm not like uh, Karnak here, but still that's going to be like, but depending on the book, usually between 2.5 and 3.5 to 1, with an average of probably about 2.75 to 3-1 on that correct scoreline in that particular matchup. I think it was kind of expected that was going to be the case, even though there was a slight favorite in the game. I also said take Cameroon and the over against Serbia, and that was a crazy game that Cameroon came out with. The points there, and it did go over. They played to multiple goals. It went over 2.5. And just concluded, I said take Ghana on the Asian handicap plus a quarter of a goal and take over 2 goals. Final score was 3-2. Ghana wins that. So there you go. That was 8 or 9-0 there. And
Here, Ramon, change your crawl there on the bottom.
oh yeah.
So before you give your picks, there you go.
Okay. So yeah.
Okay. You were going to anyway. Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. But just didn't have as good a lead in there. They could have tacked it on maybe to this matchup. Maybe they still will. I don't know. I got to do a better job on my graphics. Executive producer, I'll do better so I can keep my position here as the introducer of the games. Brazil and Switzerland. Man, Brazil is playing really, really great right now. They seem like they get every game 2-0 in this one. I kind of lean towards Switzerland. I'm only going under in this game, under 2.5 goals. I kind of want to take Switzerland plus a goal, but Brazil just seems to get that late goal right now. And is Brazil the team they're still a favorite, but there's a group of favorites. Maybe they're being slept on even a little bit. I got the under 2.5. So we're not going crazy on this card necessarily, because here in Portugal and Uruguay, I've got the draw here with Portugal. Portugal is going to be the slight favorite here in this one, but I've got a draw here between Portugal and Uruguay. Netherlands and Qatar. In this one, Netherlands is in a situation where they're going up against the worst team that doesn't really even deserve to be in the World Cup, and they're in a situation where they are in goal differential that could mean their advancement or placement in the next round. So they have big time motivation to score a blowout win here over weak Qatar. Netherlands, certainly we want to put them in with probably the top 10 to 15 teams in the world. Uh, borderline top 10, maybe right inside, somewhere in there. But take Netherlands -2 against Qatar, go over 3 goals. 4-0 or more seems likely. Netherlands needs to really crush them. Yes, Netherlands often a disappointment, but Qatar. We're talking about the World Cup here. Many there's 32 teams. It's going to be expanded to 48 when it comes to the Americas. But Qatar kind of sits probably about 65th in the world right now. And Ecuador and Senegal, I've got another tie here, but I also like the under. So not as confident maybe on the 1-1 scoreline. I'd even think that 0-0 is even more of a chance. Not then 1-1. I'd say I'd favor 1-1 as the top scoreline, but 1-0 is possible as well. But I've got a draw in Ecuador and Senegal and under Ecuador and Senegal. So that's 6 plays today. Trying to improve on 8 or 9-0 since I put some plays on the show yesterday in the World Cup. So just have a few more notes for you, Mindy, that I wanted to talk about this week. And when college football season ended, I don't know if you have any take on this. This is just but I just want to mention these the college football numbers that have come out, because these are high profile games, obviously, with the conference championships this week. And there has been some significant movement on these games. And if you like these sides or totals that I'm about to recite, these are not plays, mind you. I'm just going to give you line moves right now that have been steamed here on the morning steam, Mindy. LSU and Georgia, this one could go below 50. It's already been hit to the under a little bit. I could see this game going to 49, 48.5 between these two teams. It was a little bit higher, so you're already seeing steam to the under in the SEC championship game. Florida State and Boise, this one opened as low as maybe 51, 51.5. It's already gone over up to 54. We're expecting points in that Fresno State Boise game. If I slipped up and said Florida, I'm sorry. I meant FSU. But Fresno State and Boise, we've already seen stiff movement to the over on this one from 51 to 54. ACC championship, Clemson and North Carolina opened about 61. It's already up to 63. I believe these will maybe stay there, but I don't see them coming back. So if that's your side, I'm suggesting our steamers get on it now if that's what you prefer. We'll come in with the plays later in the week, certainly on the whatever the line is. We're going to be stuck with it. Also in the MAC game, big move to the under here, Mindy. Toledo and Ohio opened 61 or so. It's all the way down to 56. And Conference USA, North Texas and Texas San Antonio. In this one, opened 65, now up to 67.5. Another big time move. And Troy in its game, Troy has moved from -7 to -10 in their championship game. So big moves on those games. We'll cover them later in the week, certainly. So good show. Thank you again. Good weekend. Thank you to everybody in the chat as well. Mindy, what do you have going to happen over at Tony'sPicks.com today?
So we got it looks like 1 play right now in the NHL. I got 2 to 3 plays in the NBA and 3 or more plays in college basketball. Oh, and I might be in on that Monday Night Football game.
Okay, you can't help yourself. Even they throw some teams out there. Hey, don't forget to check out Tony'sPicks.com. Check out the handicapper leaderboards and see who's hot. See Collins up there. This was the top 5. I should have went to the other leaderboards. Okay, I'm up there. I see me number 2 last 7 days. Me. Number 1 last 30 days. So there's Mindy. Yep, doing it for the last 7 days. And 30 days. And don't forget to check out our packages over at tonyspicks.com, including plenty of best bets locked and loaded from our handicappers, as well as our $15 promotional and introductory picks, often packaged as a best bet to showcase the services, as Tony
That's right.
likes to
That's
say.
right.
And also our 3-pack or multiple packs are listed under this tab as well. So check it out over at tonyspicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20% off all the premium pick packages. All right, just want to thank everyone today that was in the chat, Mindy, and then we'll get out of here. But Scotch was, I think it was the real crew, and a few newcomers too, but
Right.
Scotch, Cages was here, Seaman was here, Reginald Luker, welcome. Reginald Luker, Edwin Mann, welcome. Wapik, welcome. We actually had several new commenters here in the chat today. Jose Sierra talking with us today as well. Crush was here. Blake was here. That was about it. Mindy Hahn, thank you so much. Great job.
Sure. Thank you. It was a good show, Ramon. I'm
All right.
excited for these plays. We got
That's
lots.
right.
It's going to be awesome.
Well, do we have to wait for these games 8 hours?
Well, we got 1 p.m. college basketball. You can
Okay,
maybe get
all
in.
right, we'll get on some of that. UC Davis and Boston U comes early. Dartmouth and Grambling comes early. Probably turn out some premium on there. Scotch throwing
I
in
mean,
late.
why not?
Yeah. Scotch, thank you. Thank you to everybody for joining us in the chat. Good show for a Monday, Mindy. Thank you. All right, for Mindy Hahn, I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining us.